Yes, can I make host Kavita ji?
Yes, sir. Now,
Yeah, now you are host.
okay, fine. Okay, sir. Thank you. So before going end the meeting, we have seen that Irfana has given us a very good introduction about code of professional ethics, right? So that is the chapter number 1. And now we having that is observance of the code. See, the difference between the code of conduct and the code of professional ethics need to be appreciated. This enforcement is the responsibility of appointing and disciplinary authorities. Like all other professions, teaching profession should also move towards the self-regulation, which implies that every teacher should have the inner urge to adhere the ethical principle listed in the Code of Professional Ethics for teachers. Obviously, if we are having some code, we should adhere to the violation of the Code of Conduct also. So the violation of the Code of Conduct invites disciplinary actions for which detailed rules are prescribed. However, in the case of violation of the Code of Professional Ethics by teacher, the responsibility to discipline them should rest the authorized representative of professions. Now, if we are having violation, we should know what are the mechanisms to deal with this violation. So the mechanism is we are having 4 types of committees which deal with this violation. Fine. So number 1 is the school block ethics committee. That is the committee based on the school basis, right? If we can see, an ethics committee at the school level comprises senior members of the staff should be appointed over here. And this committee may deal with the complaints regarding punctuality, regularity, completion of the curriculum, engagement in private tuitions, etc. And in the first instance, should try to persuade the erring teacher to mend their ways. This committee is not punishing exactly. Actually, it is just persuading the teacher to adhere to the violation, not to adhere to the violations. Okay. The next one is the District Ethics Committee. This is recognized teachers organization. Association in the state shall jointly constitute the ethics committee at the district level, comprising representatives of teacher and eminent educationists. This committee may issue advisory for hearing the teachers, and this should deal with the complaints of serious nature, such as violation of constitutional provisions, cases of child abuse, spreading feeling of hatred and enmity among different committees. So next, we are having a state ethics committee. This committee is organization in the state shall jointly appoint an ethics committee comprising eminent educationists, representatives of teacher organization and parents. This committee should deal with the complaints referred to it by the district committee. And next level is the National Ethics Committee. At the national level, NCTE and All Indian Federation of School Teachers may jointly appoint a National Ethics Committee comprising eminent educationists, representatives of Federation of Elementary and Secondary Teachers Organization, National Commission for the Protection of Child Rights and Parents. The committee should be responsible for consideration of issues which may require periodical review of code and also for the formation of the guidelines for functioning of ethical committee at different levels. So once we are having the code of professional ethics and we are having the violation rules also, but what else is required? See, if we have done all the rules and we kept it there in our books and it is not awareness is not there, no one knows what are the code of conduct, what are professional ethics, it is of useless, right? So it is utmost important to create the awareness on this issue, code of conducts. So for creating the awareness, what our government is doing is to begin with, code should be translated into various languages, Indian languages, right? And circulated widely amongst the teacher, number 1. Next, we can do is the code should be included in the curriculum of various teacher education program in the country so that the prospective teachers are fully aware about the ethical principle, just like us. We are also in the same education field, and now we are learning so that we can come to know what is the code of professional ethics. Right. And the government has given the explanatory notes also in respect of various articles of the code, which will be helpful in such orientation programs, right? What we are doing right now. Fine. So my next chapter is explanatory notes on the different articles of the code. In this, we are having three things: obligation towards the student, obligation towards parents, community and society, and obligation towards the profession and colleagues. So we will deal one by one, right? So here, very first, we are having obligation towards the students. See how you are treating the students, as Irfana also give this point, that we need to treat all the students with love and affection. You cannot treat one person with love and affection and all, like not like this. Teachers should create trust, confidence, interest, enthusiasm, and hope, and not fear, frustration, and disappointment in the students. Next is respect the value of being just and impartial to all students, irrespective of their caste, creed, religion, sex, economic status, disabilities, language, and place of work. So the thing is, you should not be partial towards anything, whatever it is, sex or language or your caste or status, anything. You should treat all students as one person, right? And another one is felicitate students' physical, social, intellectual, emotional, and moral development. What does it mean? It says that teachers should act as a facilitator for the students to engage them in diverse activities for their physical, intellectual, social, emotional, and moral development. The physical development of the student as an important aim of the education should be encouraged through physical education activities. Physical and emotional security is the cornerstone for all learning rights from primary to secondary school years and even afterwards.
Like yoga.
Next, like yoga. We are doing that. Okay. Respect basic human dignity of the child, as we already sir told that, of the child in all aspects of the school life. It is not that grade 1 kid you can do the treat as a dignity and other are not. It's not like that. There is a need to recognize that each individual child has its own rights and dignity as a human being and a member of a democratic society. Violation of the rights of child is often observed in our school processes. So now next one we are having: maintain the confidentiality of the information concerning students and dispenses such information only to those who are legitimately entitled to it. Many times the teacher also serves as a counselor with whom personal and private information about the students is available. As a ethical responsibility of the teacher to maintain the confidentiality of that information. You cannot spread that information in everywhere, right? So next is refrain from subjecting any child to fear, trauma, anxiety, physical punishment, sexual abuse, and the mental and emotional harassment. The teacher should take all the appropriate measures to protect the child from all the form of physical or mental violence, injury or abuse, neglect or negligent treatment, maltreatment or exploitation, including sexual abuse and etc. Any kind of corporal punishment and emotional harassment by the teacher has larger implication of the child's whole life. So teacher should be responsible. You cannot just pass one comment and it can have the very devastating, impact on the person's life. Next one is keeps a dignified demeanor commensurate with the expectation from a teacher as a role model. See, the teachers are always the role model for the students. And in modern times, we have visualized teacher as one who undertakes the wondrous responsibility of shaping the destiny of the nation in the classrooms. Right. The NPE, even the national policy, NPE, gives the tall order of the role of the teacher when it states that no people can rise above the level of its teacher. Any intentional or unintentional expression of teacher personality traits can cast such impression which may adversely influence the student. In every aspect, the teacher has to be living practitioner of all the tenets expressed in the Code of Professional Ethics. And the next one is obligation towards parents, community, and society. So just now we have seen what are the obligation towards student, but the teacher is not responsible only the student. Teacher is responsible equally for parents, the community, and the whole society. So what are these? Establishes a relationship of trust with parents, guardians, in interest of all-round development of the students. Okay. Next is desist from doing anything which is derogatory to the respect of the child or his parent or his guardians. That means lower the esteem of any child in front of other students can be hazardous. It is also important to treat equally children from different economic backgrounds and children belonging to different region, caste, disabilities, categories, etc. The teacher should not make any remarks against the student belongings to different backgrounds. Next is teachers should strive to develop respect for the composite culture of India amongst the student. India is a land of many cultures, language, religions, faith, belief, and in any class, there is always a representation of students of different cultures, language, religions. If teachers respect all the cultures, obviously that will go to the students, and the value of the composite culture requires equal tolerance and the respect for all the cultures of the land. Keep the country uppermost in the mind and refrain from taking part in such activities such as spreading feeling of hatredness, enmity amongst different communities, religion, linguistic group. At least teacher should not do all such things. And teacher is the one person who can stop all these things. Fine. And the next is obligation towards the profession and colleagues. So teacher as a profession, we should respect, strive hard for our continuous professional development. In a knowledge-driven society, it is necessary for everyone to continue learning throughout his life. And as a teacher, it is a quote also, teacher is always a learner. So we should strive hard for our professional growth by learning some different activities. Teachers' motivation to learn continuously not only helps him or her to grow professionally, but it is also help to enrich the profession with innovative practices which may emerge as a result of research, experimentation, discussion, observation, etc. Also teachers should create a culture that encourages purposeful collaboration and dialogue among the colleagues and stakeholders. Next, teachers should take pride in teaching profession and treats other members for the profession with respect and dignity. Nowadays, what happened, as a teacher, we are coming in this profession by two ways, by chance or by choice, right? So we should have that pride that teaching profession is a noble profession. And if a teacher should take pride in having joined the teaching profession. You should not come in teaching profession by chance only that you don't have any work and you are coming to the teaching profession. Even though if you have opted the teaching profession, in that case, you should have a pride and in teaching profession and undergo no circumstances should express disregard for the profession by repenting any decision, right? So the teacher cannot give his or best to the student and the community if she does not display the pride and dignity to the profession chosen. I am a teacher by chance and I am not happy with my profession. I cannot give many things to my students in that way if I'm passionate enough towards my teaching, right? Teacher should refrain from engaging himself or herself in private tuition or private teaching activities. Why does it happen? The reason is, if we are undergoing the private tuitions, we may have the feeling of not giving proper support to the non-tutor, to the students who are not taking tuition from us. So that type of favorism should not be there. That's why we should refrain from engaging ourselves from the private tuition. Right. It is a controversial and there have been the argument in both favor and against also. But if you are not giving any favorism, it should be avoided. Refrain from accepting any gift and favor that might impair and appear to the influence professional decision or actions. See, the teacher have to be role model for the students of the impressional age. Okay, in that case, some student out of the respect and affection for the teachers sometimes give a small gift like flowers, greeting cards. These can be accepted by a smile. Okay. However, any favor from the student side for having, you need to give the favor to them should be avoided. in some occasion expects favor in the form of the higher marks in internal assessment or selection for the participation in some sub sports, refuse that. Teacher refrain from making unsubstantiated allegation against colleagues and higher authorities. See, we should not pass any kind of comments and all towards our colleagues. In bigger school with sizable number of teachers, there is always a possibility that the teacher will have a circle of close friends. This is quite natural also, but it will be undesirable if it leads to the formation of groups having mutual conflicting interest. So you should not, due to professional jealousy or due to any favor, you should not pass any kind of comments to your colleagues or your higher authorities. Avoid making derogatory statement about colleagues, especially in the presence of people, other teachers, official, and parents. A teacher having difference of opinion with colleagues on the purely professional matter is perfectly in order and indeed should be welcome. But mode of expression of the difference in opinion should be polite and dignified. You should not disrespect anyone in front of all, right? So respect the professional standing and opinion of his colleagues. In the teaching profession, some teachers are likely to be more professionally advanced in comparison to others. The professionally advanced teacher or the experienced teacher may not find enough merit in the views of younger teacher, but they should refrain from rejecting their ideas in harsh tone. Right. So these some kinds of things are there. Maintaining confidentiality of the information concerning colleagues and dispenses such information only when authorized to do so. So teacher may be knowing many things about the life and conduct of his or her fellow teachers, but some information may be confidential nature and you should not spread that confidential information, right? So now we come to reach the summary of this draft. The draft code of professional ethics for a school teacher is an essential document for the teaching profession as it provides a framework for ethical conduct that promotes accountability, trust, and professionalism. The draft code of professional ethics for a school teacher is an important and necessary document for the teaching profession as it provides a clear framework for ethical behavior and promotes professionalism, accountability, and trust. So I hope you all enjoyed the session and we have done justice to our draft. Thank you, sir, for giving the opportunity and thank you everyone for listening us so patiently. Thanks a lot. Have a nice day.
Excellent.
Thank
I feel so happy with your beautiful presentation of the two panel members by Irfana as well as our Kavita ji. Both are presented in a beautiful manner. I think you all may, the session may created may seeded a curiousness towards more clarity on these professional ethics, ethics and code of conduct of the school teachers. I'm so happy. So we all must read again and again these draft. Now I will post you same draft in the WhatsApp. Please go through that. By that you will understand more. If possible, whatever you prepared, that also you please post it in the WhatsApp. By that students will be benefited. So I'm so happy. I think you may understood the obligation towards students that must be written in every school in the entry itself. The teachers are in the staff room. The teachers must know that especially how to treat with the children in a with love and affection, with the full of what I say is clarity. That's very important. I'm so happy. So we'll discuss later on. Now I express once again congratulations to Irfana ji and Kavita ji. I'm so happy. Give a big claps. I'm so happy. Now
thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for giving the opportunity to us.
Thank you.
Nice. And later on we'll keep the discussion session because there is one more symposium is there on professional development. I think our 3 students are eagerly waiting. So I request second symposium on NCTE.
Connecting with another device, please allow me.
Yeah. National Professional Standards 2022. That is by Diksha, Himabindu, and Savita. May I correct? Yeah. So I think the 3 members, panel members, 3 members in the panel. I think these 3 experts in NCTE Draft and Professional Standards 2022. It's a current, you know that. So all three experts will present in front of us, and they will simplify the whole draft. By that we'll get to understand. So I request who will going to take this session, please. Is it Savita Sai or who is to whom I need to give the host?
Sujata, sir.
Diksha. Yeah.
Bindu.
Where is Hima Bindu? Where is Hima Bindu?
Sir, I am here only, but the signals are not good, sir. It is not audible to me. Anything.
Yeah. Do you have your PPT?
Yes, sir. I send it to you, sir. I have my PPT.
Then I will share the screen. Just you read out. No problem. If you send me, I will see that.
So can you do that for me as well? Because
Yeah, just send me. Just send me your.
Diksha, I have sent already, sir.
Yeah, it's Bindu's. First, I need to share Bindu's Hima Bindu draft. May I correct? PDF. I think. Yeah. Just a second, please. Yeah. I think, is it visible to you?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, any more drafts are there? After that, after the Diksha, who is after the Hima Bindu, who are going to present?
Sir, me, Diksha.
Yeah, Diksha, kindly post me.
Sir, I have sent already.
Yeah, okay, no problem. We'll see. Wait a second, please, because I must keep ready. Yeah, we'll see later on. Just you please finish it. Yeah. Please continue. Diksha, kindly start, please.
Yes. Sir, Bindu is going to start.
Yeah, Hima Bindu, please start. Is it visible? Hima Bindu, are you active or not?
Yes, sir.
Sir, I think she has some network issue, which is why she sent a message also that her signal is weak.
Yeah. So what we'll do then?
Can we start with mine then, sir?
Yes, you can start with
After Diksha, I'll continue with my presentation then, sir.
no problem. So I need to then send again. I need to go there. Diksha. I saw Savita Sai file. Where is Diksha Sai file?
Sir, I've sent.
Kindly once
today
again send
morning.
it, please. Once again send me, please.
I'll send it, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Is there? No problem. Is there?
Okay, sir.
Yes. It's ready. Yeah. You please continue.
Fine. Okay.
Kindly unmute video. If not, please continue. If possible, do it. Yeah.
Okay. So NCTE is nothing but National Council for Teacher Education. Okay, first of all, good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, sir.
Very good afternoon.
Okay, so this I'm presenting on second unit today. That is professional standards for teachers. So let us just begin with what is professional standards. So can you change the slide? Third slide. Thank you, sir. So on second unit, we are just working on professional standard, which has the first definition of professional standards. Second is like professional teaching standards. And third is importance of professional standards. And next we have is quality assurance for teaching profession. And the last one is framework of assess professional as framework to assess professional standard. So these are the points which we are going through for professional standards today. So on that note, let's start with what is the definition or what is the professional standards for teacher. So professional standards are guidelines or principles that describe the expected level of behavior, knowledge, and competence for professionals in a particular field. They provide a framework for evaluating professional performance and ensuring that individuals meet the necessary requirement to practice in their profession. In the teaching profession, professional standards refers to expected knowledge, skills, and behaviors to educators. Now, professional standards for teachers are a set of guidelines that outline the knowledge, skills, and the value of teachers that are expected to possess in order to be effective educators. So these standards are designed to ensure that the teachers are enabled to provide high quality instruction to the students, and the teacher should promote their learning and the development and to maintain the professional and behavior. Okay, so professional standards for different teachers, it may vary. Like maybe I'm an English teacher, so it may vary for me. Similar way, it may vary for a science teacher, social teacher, maths teacher, and it depends which country you are in. So country to country as well, it varies. So that also typically includes different components in it. So majorly it includes four kind of components. So first component of it is content knowledge. So obviously being a teacher, when we are a teacher and when we go to school.
Excuse me, just yeah, is it a proper slide? Just indicate me.
Yes, sir.
So now
Yes, sir, it's correct.
Importance of professional science, right?
Sir, actually, I'm still talking about the first slide itself.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Then that's why I have a doubt. Yeah, please continue.
Okay, sir. So the professional standards, generally the teacher profession, it includes four components. So first is nothing but your content knowledge. When we go to teach in a class, obviously we should have a deep understanding of the subject. When we go and when we elaborate something in the class, a teacher should have the depth knowledge of it. Until or unless we are not sure for the topic, obviously we cannot elaborate and we cannot inculcate the same knowledge in the students. So that is one component. Second component is nothing but pedagogical knowledge. So a teacher should have knowledge of effective instructional strategies, then assessment techniques and classroom management practices. If you are not good at it, obviously you cannot handle the students of your level. Then the third type of the students component is professionalism. Now, professionalism is nothing but teachers should demonstrate ethical and professional behavior in the class. There are certain rules when you go to the class. We cannot behave like a students when we are in the class. Obviously, we should maintain a rapport in the class, and there are certain rules. We should keep certain things confidential according to our ethics. And the fourth component is student learning, which is very important component of the student's life. So to promote learning and development through variety of teaching methods and learning opportunities. So every teacher should give a student different kind of learning strategies. That depends on the teacher and it varies according to the teachers to teacher. Fine. Let's now move on to the next point.
Once again, repeat, please.
Sir.
4 points. First one is
So, content knowledge.
content knowledge, then pedagogic knowledge, then
Yes, sir.
professionalism, then student learning. Yes, please
Yes, sir.
continue.
Yes. So the next slide.
Yeah. Is it right? Okay.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Then let's move on to professional teaching standards. So what are professional teaching standards? Professional teaching standards are a set of guidelines that outline the expectation for educators in terms of their knowledge, skills, and behaviors. These standards are developed by professional organizations, government agencies, and other stakeholders in the education field. They are designed to provide a common language and framework for evaluating teacher performance and ensuring that all teachers are meeting the necessary standards. Now, when we talk about professional teaching standard, again, it depends which school are you in, whether it is state school, whether you're following which kind of curriculum. Depending on the curriculum, we follow certain rules. So, some schools, if you see, they have strict rules and they have certain policies, which every teacher has to follow. But then everybody cannot maintain the same rules. That depends which state you are in, which particular school you are working in. Okay, so that is all about professional teaching standards. Now let's move on to the next slide. Next topic, that is importance of professional. So the next slide, please. Importance of professional standards. Thank you, sir. Just a minute, sir. Okay, I'm not able to see. Oh, fine. So importance of professional standards. Importance of professional standard. There is a set actually. When we set some standards for the teachers, we had to go along with it. Like professional standards are important for several reasons. First, they help to ensure that educators are meeting the needs of students and providing high quality instruction. Okay, so when we go to the class and we teach student, we have a certain set of rules which we need to follow. That is really important. If we don't go and meet that rule, and when we go according to the need of the students, then it's of no use teaching in the class. Then the second is they provide a framework for teacher preparation programs and professional development. Okay, so in all the schools, generally when now it's half day in most of the schools. So if you see, most of the schools are occupied with workshops, different kinds of workshops and different kinds of professional meetings going on, wherein we are given certain set of framework, right? How to teach students in a high qualitative method, And depending on different varieties of rules and set of rules when you have in the school. Then third is they help to maintain the integrity and professionalism of teaching profession. So obviously when we are in a field, we when we go for different kind of workshops and when we learn different things, we have to have a good quality of teacher, and we get to learn different things, which if we are learning in a workshop, we can inculcate the same practice in the class. So now let's move on to the next one, that is quality assurance for the teaching profession. So quality assurance is an important aspect of the teaching profession, and professional standards are a key component of this process. Quality assurance involves assessing the quality of teaching and ensuring that teachers are meeting the necessary standards. This can involve a range of activities, including classroom observations, students' feedback, and assessment of teacher knowledge and skills. So now quality assurance for the teaching profession. Like, see, when you go for a class, like in my class, I'll give you example of my class. What I do is, when I teach for a whole year, when we go for a class and we teach students, at the end of the year, what I have done it for my, as of now life career, what I have done is I asked all my students at the end of the, like suppose the last day when the lesson and everything is done. So I asked my students to give a feedback. Obviously, they cannot write something, they cannot give a wrong or poor feedback about the teachers. So in that case, what I have done is in my class, like I have asked all my students to write a feedback in a paper, but they were not supposed to mention their name so that I get a proper feedback. So that is student feedback. You can opt even in your classes when you go for student feedback. Okay, and you can involve range of activities in your class. Thank you, sir. So range of activities, generally when nowadays, if you see, students are very much interested in learning activities. They learn through playway method. Even CBSE and our NCERT, they have asked for the minimal of written information and more of playway method. So even for English classes, generally when we start with the activity. So that depends, and then including classroom observation. So classroom observation is nothing but when we are teaching and the teachers generally are coordinators or HODs and our peer teachers, when they come and they observe our classes and they give a feedback about it. So feedback can be obviously negative. There must be negative and there must be positive things about it. When we go for a class, there are certain things. Generally, when we miss out few things, obviously there are negative feedbacks. But then there are as well good feedbacks about it. So that is one thing. And then assessment of teacher knowledge and skills. So teacher knowledge and skill is nothing but obviously when we have depth knowledge of whether we have depth knowledge of our content or we are good at it, or what things do we have. So that observation is important. So we should, these all things gives us the assurance that a teacher who's going to teach in the class, who's going to make a student's life. So whether that teacher is qualitative teacher or not, whether that the teacher has the good quality of teaching in the classroom.
Very good, madam. Very important aspect you discussed in this quality assurance means what? We must see that how far the quality of teaching is there. That's very important. So the quality of teaching, there are various components, what she said. One is how we are using range of activities, involve a range of activities, classroom observations, then student feedback, then teachers' knowledge as well as teacher skills. So it's very important. So we must have a self-rating as a teacher. We must give ourselves how far I am using in the